Hi Denise, thanks for calling in today.
Hi, Ashley.
As I understand, you've been making a change in your life that's occurring recently. So do you want to tell me more about that change?
Yeah, I went back to work after
Mm-hmm.
22 years because my oldest child went through college and graduated. My youngest child was going off to college.
Okay.
And I spent a lot of time working and volunteering in the school system. And when she left, I had a lot of time that I didn't realize I'd have. So I was a little bored. So I thought that it might be great to get back in the workforce.
So it's definitely a big change. You're used to living your life a certain way, and all of a sudden things changed in that life, and it kind of made you have to change your own lifestyle too.
Right, because I haven't worked for 22 years, so I was out of the workforce, so that was kind of a scary thought process to think about.
What kind of feelings were you having when you were thinking about going back into the workforce and what might
Um,
happen?
Really nervous because I didn't know if I'd be able to get a job after not working
Mm-hmm.
for 22 years, so I had 22 years of no experience, just raising kids and doing volunteer jobs throughout the public schools.
Okay. What kind of volunteering were you doing?
I did a lot of stuff with elementary schools when they were young, PTAs and fundraisers. And then middle school and high school, I worked with the athletic boosters and just any volunteer opportunities that the high school and middle schools had. Sometimes volunteering in the classrooms or helping kids one-on-one.
Oh,
Or sports boosters, I was on the board for 6 years, so
mm-hmm.
fundraising was a big part of it, and then volunteering at events.
So was all these volunteering stuff around the same time your children were going through those stages, or were you just doing it to fill the time when they were involved with
No,
the school
I
program?
volunteered within the building or age range that they
They
were
were
at
in.
currently.
Oh, so that has to be a big adjustment to know that you're volunteering once they moved on. You weren't gonna have them in the school to find a different way to use your time.
Correct.
Okay.
And I could have probably continued to volunteer, but I was looking for a new avenue
Yeah.
to go down something maybe different to
Yep.
try.
Have a different change in your life.
Yeah, and I do still work with the schools somewhat, but not as much as I used to.
And that's great to realize you wanted something different to happen in your life and you kind of wanted to take a different route. What kind of jobs were you interested in when you were in the switch over?
Well, I hadn't really thought about it, but my friend
Mm-hmm.
presented an opportunity to me to work in retail because I didn't want to work a lot. I still wanted to have not working for so long. I didn't want to jump in with both feet and work full time. So I wanted to just kind of get my feet wet and
Ease your way into
yeah.
the change. Yep.
So the friend told me about the job, and then it took me 3 months to actually go and apply because I didn't want to drive all that way. So I kind of put it off, and then they called me and said, "Are you going to come in and apply? Because we're hiring."
Oh, that's nice for them to actually kind of push you. So you're a little
Yeah, they
hesitant.
reapproached me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were there reasons why you were kind of hesitant besides like driving, or were you
Well, it was at
unsure?
Woodland Mall, and I just didn't want to drive out there because I'm not a mall type shopper, and I thought, oh, I just don't want to drive that far
Okay.
because I live in the Rockford area, and it just seemed like a waste of time to drive all the way out there to pick up an application.
So that was a difficult
Yeah.
thing for you to do, is kind of get out of your elements and
Yes.
drive to a place that you don't always like to
Right,
be.
and being out of the workforce, I thought I didn't want to get rejected from having lack of experience. So it was kind of just putting it off so you didn't have to face rejection.
Did you have any other like support to help you through this when you were first like applying to the job?
Well, the friend that referred me was awesome, and then my husband was supportive in
Mm-hmm.
me wanting to get in the workforce, and my children thought it was kind of cool too, because they never knew a working mom.
So it sounds like all your family and friends were there to kind of help you along and give you the confidence you need to actually pursue this
Yes,
employment.
And then, like, I was worried about the lack of experience in my references. I used um, superintendents and board presidents that I had did volunteer work with. So they were very helpful because those were a lot of jobs I did were non-paid jobs, but it was great experience to put down on a resume.
Yeah, so you were able to gain skills and values to use in your present job.
Correct.
What other kind of steps did you take when you were getting into this new job?
Um, I don't know if I did. It just kind of presented itself to me and it worked out the first opportunity. So I did have to prepare to go through an interview, which I hadn't done in a lot of years. So that was kind of exciting to do that.
All right. How'd the interview go? Were you able to prepare yourself for it, or what kind of things did
I
you
think so
do?
because I just talked. It was a company that is
Mhm.
kind of they support the lifestyle that I live and choose to live in. So it was pretty comfortable and easy to go through.
Okay. Now, after you got the job, was there any kind of changes that you needed to get used to?
Um, just the scheduling and the being on my feet. I was always on
Mhm.
my feet, but like standing and scheduling
Yeah.
issues, and just to get a routine going, which I had the school hour volunteer routine, but
Okay.
just different hours.
What type of things did you or are you still doing to help with this change with scheduling wise? Because I know that can be a difficult time to make sure things aren't overlapping and you have enough time during your day.
Yeah, I get up and just I'm a pretty organized person, so I start my day. I'm a runner, so I get my
Mhm.
run in early, sometimes in the dark, and which is not always fun, but you get
Yeah.
up and get doing it, and then you just get your routine going and sometimes things at home have to get put off
Mm.
and not done, but it all happens and gets done eventually.
Being organized is a very good quality and skill to have to be able to keep with changes and get through your change.
Yes,
Um,
it helps a lot.
is there any like difficulties that you're having with the organizing and making time, or are you?
No, when I first started working, I was working just like 3 to 9 hours a week, which I kind of liked because it was good to get back into it. But now I'm working probably half time, I guess you would say, 20, 22 hours.
Okay.
And it's kind of fun because you get to see the public and interact with some of the young people that I work with.
So, is there anything you can think of to help with getting used to the more hours that you're getting now?
Um, I'm not sure.
Do you think if you maybe set certain time frames of like times you know that you like shouldn't work and like work that out with your boss, or like maybe not go running all the time like when you want to, if the work cuts in for that,
Right.
or
Sometimes, and actually, because I do run kind of a lot, the idea was the job would help me run less,
mhm.
but I don't necessarily do that. Um, I get it in the morning, and then I made myself only available for the times that I want to work because I don't want to get a job and work when my husband's at home because it's retail and there's some weekends and nights
Yeah,
involved. So I only make my availability for when I want to be available.
that's good to so you know your limits and what you want to do, so you're not being conflicted, I guess, with not having time for your husband instead of
Right,
being
and
at work.
family. And I would always, if my daughters wanted to do something, I would always make sure that that was important.
And that's good you're there for your family.
Yes, thank you. I
You're
appreciate
you're
that.
welcome. Well, it sounds like you're working through this change that you've been taking place for a few times and
Yeah.
years now, and I look forward to hearing about how it keeps working out and other changes that may be happening because of this.
All right. right.
And I will talk to you next time. It's nice meeting you.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.